Hi, we're here today with Dr. Rudy Merck, CEO of Valensa, the human health company. Hi, Dr. Rudy. So today we're going to talk about cardiovascular health and perilla seed oil. What is perilla?
Well, Claire, that's a wonderful question because a lot of people don't know what it is, but I'll give you some hints, okay? First of all, most of you have heard about chia seed. Chia seed is a very popular source of a vegetable source of omega-3, but perilla is much better, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, if you've ever eaten sushi and you look below your sushi, there's this leaf, this kind of segmented leaf, and that's a perilla leaf. And in Asia, the leaf itself is used as a spice. And it is a member of the mint family, just like chia is a member of the mint family. So in Asia, they use a spice, but the seeds can be squeezed to make perilla oil. Now, Valensa developed a technology, instead of squeezing the seeds, we use a process called supercritical extraction. It's a very gentle extraction process. It's not expeller pressing. It's not cold pressing. By the way, there is no such thing as cold pressing seeds. If you squeeze something really hard, you ram a lot of oxygen into it. Whatever you're ramming into a device to extract oil causes heat to form and damages the oil. But let's talk about omega-3 oils. Why is perilla the king of omega-3 oils? The common omega-3 oils, not fish oils, the plant-based oils, are ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. They also contain some LA. LA is omega-6, ALA is omega-3. Now, too much omega-6 in your body causes inflammation. If you have a very high diet in omega-6, corn oil, canola oil, other baked goods where they use stable oils like omega-6 oils to stabilize them, you will create inflammation in your body. Omega-3s counteract that inflammation.
And so why is inflammation so bad?
There is a very credible theory that inflammation may be the root of virtually all disease. Now, that's probably a bit exaggerated as far as what is really going on. But for instance, if we measure a blood marker called C-reactive protein in somebody's blood, and the C-reactive protein, which is a sign of inflammation, is very high, then you can almost predict that that person is going to have a heart attack. Hardening of the arteries, plaque formation, are all inflammatory processes. There's even a very credible theory that age-related macular degeneration can be caused by inflammation in the body. And if you reduce inflammation in the body, you would reduce the tendency for somebody to get age-related macular degeneration. It can't be stopped, but it certainly can be slowed down without ever getting that substance into the eye. Most people that talk about eye health, they talk about getting lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin into the eye to help prevent UV damage. But inflammation itself in the body can cause eye damage without ever a substance getting into your eye. So, generally speaking, inflammation can cause diabetes. It can cause arthritis. It can cause osteo or rheumatoid arthritis. It could be an underlying inflammatory thing.
Dr. Rudy, when we talk about inflammation, how is that relevant to cardiovascular health?
Well, the heart is a muscle that is pumping 24 hours a day for your whole life. And the heart has membranes and vasculation, which, if inflamed, will lead to early death, heart attack, okay, or slow death with non-functioning heart muscles. And one of the important things is to have low levels of inflammation, and if you have too much omega-6 in your diet, your cardiovascular health is going to suffer for several reasons. One, inflammation caused by omega-6. Number two, you're going to get more plaque formation. You're going to get oxidative processes taking place. And therefore, the key to cardiovascular health, besides the obvious things like exercise and really good diet, low in carbs and low in fats, is to have a diet that's high in antioxidants like the carotenoids, astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, lutein, ALA, which is anti-inflammatory throughout your body, and of course, your blood goes through your heart multiple thousands of times a day, and therefore, when you have ALA in your circulatory system, it goes to those places that are working the hardest and are susceptible to inflammation. So what we need to do is to figure out ways of reducing inflammation and not let it turn into a wildfire. One of the ways to do that is to use omega-3s, to consume omega-3s. And I'm not talking about EPA and DHA. Those are very good for you. Fish oil is good for you. I especially recommend krill oil and a new product that Valensa has developed called caviar oil. These are EPA, DHA phospholipids. We're talking about the most important oil is omega-3 ALA, because if you don't have any in your diet, you will die. Your body cannot make it. And your body can also convert it to DHA and EPA through enzymatic processes. Now the fish oil people, and I think fish oil is good stuff, okay? I prefer other oils, other marine oils, but high quality fish oil is good. However, the fish oil people argue that you shouldn't take ALA because it doesn't convert very effectively into EPA and DHA. The fact of the matter is your body knows when it needs to convert. It doesn't convert all the time. It's only converted on demand. Your question was about Perilla Oil. Let me preface this part by saying that shockingly, vegetarians and vegans have a 30% higher risk of dying of a heart attack or a stroke. That's very surprising. Now, in other areas, on other diseases, they have a lower risk in other diseases, but certainly heart attacks and strokes are of concern to people. And why is it that vegans and vegetarians have a higher heart attack rate and stroke rate? There's two reasons. There's many reasons, I'm sure there's many more reasons. Two main reasons is that the ratio of omega-6, LA, to ALA, omega-3, is near 15 to 20 to 1 in most vegetarians or vegans, because they don't eat any butter, they eat things that they buy that have a lot of canola oil in them or corn oil. And if you don't cook using olive oil, you may be exposed to a lot of omega-6. In order to reduce that ratio, the ideal ratio is omega-6 of about 4 to 1 omega-3. The omega-3 counteracts the inflammatory effects of omega-6. And the ideal way to get there is to take a supplement. Perilla is the ideal supplement, and it's the supplement most people haven't heard of because in the last 5 years it's been chia oil or flax oil. So flax oil has a omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Remember, we want an omega-6 to 3 ratio of 4 to 1, not more than 10 to 1. If you're 20 to 1, you're gonna have a heart attack, okay? You're gonna have metabolic syndrome. So in order to shift this, because you're eating omega-6 when you eat bread, when you eat cookies, when you eat potato chips, you're eating omega-6. You're not eating any omega-3. Therefore, you have to eat more, a seed oil that has more omega-3 in it. Well, flax is 3 to 1, omega-3 to omega-6. Chia is 3.3 to 1. Perilla oil is 6 to 1. So when you eat 1 gram of Perilla oil, you're getting twice the amount of ALA compared to omega-6, and therefore you've shifted that ratio.
So would you take Perilla on its own or with another combination?
That's a fantastic question, Claire. It turns out that, of course, you can take Perilla oil, chia oil, or flax oil on its own in a supplement or even as a bottle of oil that you pour on something. However, these oils are very unstable, and you have to make sure the people that you get it from, that it's properly stabilized. And Valensa's expertise is the stabilization of omega-3 oils, and we have a package in there called the O2B protection package from the Shakespeare O2B or not to be. And that package protects the oil with a shelf life of 2 years. Ordinary flax oil, or chia oil, or even perilla oil that's been expeller pressed and it's been exposed to oxygen has a shelf life of about 30 days. Now, I do want to say something generally about supplements and why you should probably take supplements that are mixtures with perilla oil. We've done a lot of research to find out that the human psychology is generally, there's a fad effect on supplements. So they'll take something for a year or two and then they say, oh, gee, I'm taking 12 pills a day, I'm going to cut back. Which one of these am I going to drop? Well, is this flaxseed oil or perilla oil really doing something? So what I like to do is the human engineering part of it is I like to combine supplements into perilla so that we can reduce their pill count maybe by a factor of 1 or 2 less pills because we've combined perilla with other things. And of course you would combine it with things that are important for human health. I believe that virtually all supplements should have vitamin D in them because it's the most under-supplemented, under-vitamined product out there. Almost everybody's deficient in vitamin D. I also believe in vitamin B12. B12 is very hard to absorb, and therefore putting it in multiple supplements will make sure that you're getting the proper level of vitamin B12, and this is especially important for vegetarians and vegans. The third thing is we have made a new formula in which we combine perilla oil with herring roe extract, we call it caviar oil, which contains EPA and DHA phospholipids. And so you would be getting your EPA, DHA phospholipids in a super absorbable form, much better than fish oil, along with ALA, which does not need to convert to those. It can, but it is there to protect your body against inflammation. So we have that combination. We can also add carotenoids to it, like astaxanthin, which helps stabilize the oil and helps protect people. It's an antioxidant. And there are a number of ingredients we can add, but my favorite is combining krill oil or herring roe oil with perilla oil. You can pack a lot of omega-3 in there. You can put omega-3 phospholipids, and you can put some vitamins like D and B12. It all fits into one small little pill, and now you've eliminated 3 other supplements that you're taking in your diet.
Dr. Rudy, thank you so much for teaching us about perilla oil. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.